Hello, dear viewer, or I should say, hello, Mr. Wapk. You see, today on RAR, I decided to take a request from the reviewer himself. You see, I get a lot of requests from people who want me to, in essence, take their work and rake it across the coals and submit it to rigorous ridicule and... what am I saying? I'm just a guy online, but hey, if you can stand my brand of brutal cynicism and, the way I dissect videos, then hell, awesome, kick ass. So, alright, Mr. Wap, let's take a look at the video you sent me. Now, I don't tend to do this very often, but I'm off today, and Mr. Wap's timing is perfect. So, let's give the video you chose a thorough look-see, shall we? Alright, so this is a review for Narco Terror. Wait, is it a review, or is it a first impression? There's a slight difference, man. A review means you've completely played through it and explored every possible facet of the game for the purposes of recommending it to other people. And a first impression is basically you're just playing it for the first time and reacting to what you play. Shit, the video blew a fuse. Oh.
Hey, Mr. WAPK here.
Oh, WAPK. Well, WAPK, here's tip number 1, inspired by your name. Work at procuring knowledge.
With a review of Narco Terror. This game is a twin-stick shooter. It's inspired by 80s action films. You will be facing off against drug cartels, many people with guns, machetes, and grenades.
Right off the bat, I hear monotone. You sound absolutely bored to be telling us about this game. Are you? Which brings us to point number 2 for a reviewer. If you sound too bored in your reviews, your viewers will want to abandon the project, you know?
And even some cars, trucks, and explosive barrels.
Oh, you weren't done with that last thought, huh? Alright, listen to how you ended the last sentence at the word grenades.
You will be facing off against drug cartels, many people with guns, machetes, and grenades.
See, sounds like you're done. Then...
and even some cars, trucks, and explosive barrels.
Finish your thoughts completely. Awkward pauses are murder, man.
You'll be shooting everything in sight, no matter if it is breathing or a harmless car parked neatly in a parking lot.
Yeah, that's what I imagined the word everything meant. Does that mean that I can riddle those tires in the junkyard with bullets and watch them bounce as I shoot them? Are you entirely sure that every single piece of scenery in this game is targetable?
Can you guess why you shoot everything, including cars and randomly placed explosive barrels?
Why, of course I can. Because you already told us at the beginning of your review.
You will be facing off against drug cartels, many people with guns, machetes, and grenades. See? You do it to raise your score. There are a few different weapons that you can use. Pistols, shotguns...
Oh god, let's not turn this narrative into a collection of lists, bro. We'll be here until 2050 at this rate. You already used that trope. Which brings us to rule 3. Within the same video, don't reuse a trope if it was already picked, kiddo.
You can also
melee
those pesky enemies that get way too close. The game looks like the typical twin-stick shooter, and it doesn't have anything new to offer other than the 80s action film feel. This game isn't horrible, it's just short, and it's pretty much one of every other twin-stick shooter out there.
No.
The game is 2 players, so you can team up and annihilate swarms.
Let me know when you're done talking.
Together. So if you like teaming up with friends, shooting everything that you come across, then you might really like this game.
Well, gee, sounds like it wasn't even worth bringing up in a review. It's like all others of its kind, the gimmick didn't seem to grab you, as evidenced by your perceived lack of interest in your subject. So rule, I don't know which one we're on. When it comes to your viewers' time and picking your subjects, don't waste. Acknowledge preponderance, okay?
You gain cash, and with cash you can buy new weapons and upgrades.
Who'd have guessed, right?
You play as a renegade cop who is trying to stop a drug cartel.
You said that earlier in your video somewhere.
And of course, you're trying to rescue your damsel in distress.
Dun dun dun!
The most unique features of the game are the references to 1980s action films and the funny dialogue.
You're just repeating stuff you said earlier at this point. Dude, if you can't think of that much stuff to say about a game, you should probably reconsider ahead of time whether it's even worth making a video about. Padding the video is never the answer.
Level design and effects are nice, but there's some graphical bugs, mostly in the cutscenes.
Cool, give me details about...
Voice acting is alright. It's about average for a game of this quality. The sound effects are just like the voice acting, just plain average.
Cool, give me details
to
about
recap,
that. Damn it! WAPK, why would you repeat over and over the boring details of the game and not go in depth over the interesting ones?
Everything about the game is average other than a few things. The graphics are pretty good, the dialogues are quite funny, and the game is inspired by 80s films.
You ended your video with a recap, which I would replay, except all it does is repeat every single thing you've already said up to now. In fact, your entire video should have just been the recap bit. It would have saved all of us, including yourself, a lot of time.
I give the graphics a 4 out of 5.
You have an arbitrary scoring system.
I give the game audio a 3 out of 5. I give the lasting appeal and replayability a 2 out of 5.
That doesn't add anything to your review. Numbers mean nothing without any sort of context as to what they represent. What's worse is your final score isn't even an average, by your own admission.
Overall, I give this game a 3 out of 5. This is not an average of the other scores, but it's what I gave the game an overall for a score.
What was the point, buddy? Now here's the end of your video where it took a long time for you to ask people to do the stuff that you shouldn't even need to ask them to do. If your work is liked, trust me, it'll carry itself. And no surprise, you repeated yourself. A lot.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe to keep updated on all the latest games, my reviews, modded gameplays, walkthroughs, playthroughs, and let's plays. Do you have a suggestion, question, comment, concern? Leave me a comment below. I respond to every comment. Like if you enjoyed, favorite if you really enjoyed, and share this video on your networks like Twitter, Facebook, Google+, Reddit, or anywhere else to support me. All support helps. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for your support. See you next time.
Well, Mr. WAPK, there you have it. I've seen your video, and without meaning to offend you in any way, I can tell you that it didn't wow me. It didn't fill me with a sudden need to see everything else on your channel. Far from it. If you want any positive to this, I can tell you you're in good company, because there's thousands upon thousands of people like you online making reviews day by day. If you really want to differentiate from the pack, you really need to do something different, something special, something exuberant. Maybe put in a little bit more of yourself into your video, you know? And let me tell you, if you're doing it for the YouTube penny, then you're just here to worry about potential quachas. Quachas are what they pay people with your current level of viewership on YouTube, so it's not really worth it, my friend. Unless you intend to fully overhaul your entire show to appeal to an entirely different audience. The video game crowd, it's saturated, full, and completely and utterly spoken for, my friend. Well, hope that helps you somewhat, my friend. Yeah. And as for you, dear viewer, till next time.